Hello and welcome to Crochet Moments. This is episode 46. I'm Helen and I live in Leicester with my husband and my 2 children. This is my channel where I like to talk about all things knitting, crochet and basically anything yarn related because I am a yarn addict. It's been a couple of weeks since my last episode and what have I been up to? Well, last weekend I went to a yarn show. I went to the Wool Monty, which was based in Sheffield, and it was amazing. It was just brilliant. If you're in the UK and you're looking for a yarn show to go to, this was brilliant for a number of reasons. It had an amazing range of sellers. There was yarn, there was weaving, was there weaving? Spinning, there was patterns, there was some knit stuff, there was some crochet stuff, it was just amazing. And every single maker that I stopped to chat to was really, really lovely. Another reason I quite enjoyed it, it wasn't very, very busy. There was a lovely big space and the stalls weren't all crowded into each other. There was lovely wide walkways. So if you are challenged with your mobility, you could easily get round in one of those little mobility scooters. In fact, there were a couple people going around in one of those. It was just really, really good. We did go on the Sunday. I was told by a number of the makers that the Saturday was a little busier, but I would highly recommend it. It wasn't too expensive. It was I think it was £10 and you got a lovely programme. Where have I put the programme? Just a moment. You get a lovely programme as part of that price, and I'll go over the Wool Monty a little bit more. For some reason I'm all shadowed, so I do apologise. There's weird lighting things going on. So when I went, Simon had his camera and he did a little vlog, so I'm going to include that here.
What are we going to come out with today?
Yarn! Mini skein yarn!
So I want to get some mini skeins, definitely from Cuddlebums because I like their mini skeins, and sock blockers. I need some smaller sock blockers for this one's socks and bigger sock blockers for Daddy's socks. I need to get a contrast yarn for a hat I plan on knitting.
Which is actually going to not fit me.
But other than that, I don't know. so far, my plans to buy are sticking to my original plan of mini skeins and patterns. I've seen lots of whole skeins of yarn that I'd like, but my budget won't stretch to everything, so I'm going to try and be really, really good and not buy too much extra yarn. I'm sticking to my plan. No.
How have you spent then? Have you kept within budget or have you overspent?
I've just done a quick mental add up and I think I've gone over.
You surprised me. How much by?
At least £15 over. Although, if you think about it, £15, that's something for the children. That's something we got for the girls, that needle felting set. So I'll do a proper add up later and work out exactly how much over I've gone. But it's been a great time at Wool Monty. I've really enjoyed it. I've had some great conversations with some of the makers. So if you found your way over here, hello. Yeah, I can't wait to show you what I bought. So, as you can see from that little video, we had a great time. Emily chatted to everybody she saw, and Catherine a little less so because she's a little bit uncomfortable in social situations. But yeah, no, we had a fantastic time. I did spend over budget. I always knew I was going to spend over budget, so I don't know why I was surprised at that really. But what I was surprised at was I didn't buy huge amounts of yarn this time. As you would have seen in my video, I went with the plan. I was aiming for patterns, equipment, any equipment that I might find. I did look for sock blockers but didn't find anything in the sizes that I wanted. And yeah, so I'd already looked at the list of vendors, so that was a bit of a head start. I'd already got some sort of an idea of the kinds of things I'd be looking for before I went, and I'm very good. I'm very pleased with myself that I stuck to my plan. Yes, I went over budget, but in all honesty, I wouldn't have gone over budget if I hadn't bought something for the girls, which I'll get to in a moment. So I will run through the things I bought now, because one of those things is a finished object already. I do have a little bit more incoming towards the end. I'll go through if I have time, but it's not major, lots of things. So let's start with the programme. Wool Monty 2022. This was postponed, the postponed show from 2020. And this is an amazing programme. We've got lots of adverts for the dyers, the makers, their patterns. So here's covering the wrong bit, an amigurumi pattern. So there are 6 patterns in here. This one's Monty 3 and he's a little sheep. So if you look at the logo, it's a little sheep. They have workshops. I didn't go to any of the workshops, but next year I'm thinking I might go for the whole weekend. I might stay overnight in a hotel nearby and have the Saturday go to a couple of the workshops and the Sunday be my shopping day. That would be my plan for that. There is a lovely crocheted shawl using a sheepy whirl, which is very pretty. They had samples of these up on the merchandise store, which I did not buy any merchandise. That was a little bit overpriced for me. They wanted £12 for a tote bag. Well, £12 is most of the way towards a skein of yarn. There's some socks, a girl's best friend. So these got a diamond lace pattern on. So that's quite lovely. Some more adverts. Well, I had a lovely time visiting this stall. I did buy something from there and I plan on buying some other things as well. They had some beautiful samples of their patterns and their books, and they sort of elven style knitting, so fantasy inspired, some of them, but yes, it was absolutely amazing. So let's see, there is a cabled cowl. So they basically have 3 knitting and 3 crochet patterns. So they're trying to cover something for everybody. There's a floor plan, a full list of all the vendors. So overall for a programme it's quite good. Oh, and there's a crocheted cowl as well, brick by brick. So that I will be trying to make a few of those items one day when I get down my whip list. Oh, and a hat in the shadows. So all of them are using yarn from the stalls, and they even have a puzzle. But yes, so that's that one, and it's already saying see you next year. Definitely, I am definitely going to Wool Monty 23. I have been told that Yarndale is a good one to visit, so I might start saving up for that one. So what else did I buy? Let's start with my finished object and Catherine's whip. Catherine's knitting again, just bear with me. So going around the stalls, we come across this really fun exhibitor with lots of animal heads on trophy boards, and the girls are absolutely spellbound by what they see. So Catherine found a pattern she wanted to knit, and I made her promise that she was going to knit it if I were to buy her the pattern. And here is the pattern. So the designer is Sincerely Louise. I will link her below. You can buy all of the patterns either as a paper copy, a digital download, a kit. And they are so easy to follow. They're really, really easy to follow. Catherine's shopped my stash. So this one I think is one of my Deramores yarns. So she's chosen this colour, and it's really shadowy in here. I'm really sorry about that. I need to have a word with Simon about that, because it's just not on. So she's dug out her trusty 4mm circular needles, and this is how much she's got already. Bearing in mind, she started this 5 days ago. There it is. So it's all, she's about to start the decreases, ready to then join it up. So it's going to join up, going around like that, and then she's going to do the icing. And one thing that I love about these patterns, and it came very much in handy for my finished object, there are incredibly detailed photo tutorials for the making up. These are amazing, because we all know that I struggle with making up, and having it this level of step by step, it's very micro instructions. If you can knit and purl, increase and decrease, you can make one of these. That's how easy the patterns are. So I got this one. Oh, these are £4. That's Catherine's pattern. And then here's the pattern that Emily chose. Surprise, surprise, she chose a unicorn. Again, same designer, Sincerely Louise. And again, the same level of instruction for the making up. Now, I haven't fully finished this because I don't have a trophy board. I did go on her website to find one, but she's sold out. But here is my take on the unicorn. So it's sideways. I gave her blue eyes from my box of eyes. I haven't quite decided how I'm going to be spreading the mane out yet, so I kind of hover between having it both ways. But yes, I've really enjoyed making this. Emily is looking forward to displaying her on the wall. She's already decided this is a girl unicorn. She hasn't got a name yet. But I just find it really strange that my 6-year-old is very excited about a unicorn on her wall. Unicorn head on her wall. So at the moment it's just open stuffing. I would like to use one of the trophy boards. I'll keep logging onto her site to see if they're in stock so that I can get one. Or I might get a couple, because I think I might make another one of these. It took me a couple of evenings to knit up, not long at all. That's how easy it is. And the pieces aren't incredibly big. There's not lots and lots of instructions to follow. Let's sit her up there so she can watch as I show off everything else I've been buying. So what else did I buy? Let's start with this bag. I think most of what else I bought is in this bag. Oh, that went all fuzzy then. So one thing I really wanted to try is spinning. So I've bought myself a drop spindle. And I bought myself some fluff. The girls chose the colours. So I have some green and some purple. Now, I've tried. And the fact that I have no yarn to show you so far is just showing you how much I've failed so far. I'm not going to give up, but if anybody has a recommendation for a tutorial for how to do this on YouTube or on a website if they're not on YouTube, because I could not follow the tutorials I did find on YouTube. There was one lady that seemed to make it look really, really easy, but she whizzed through the instructions and even slowing them down. I was like, I haven't got a clue what I'm doing. But this is so soft as well. And this was so cheap. These little 50-gram fluffs were only £1.85 each, which is really cheap. It's not going to be something I'm going to make a big thing out of doing with spinning, but it's just something I've always wanted to have a go at ever since I've seen it done at a previous yarns show. So that is something on there. It's going to happen at some point. So I got a couple of knitting patterns. So this one is from Knitterish Designs. It's Lissington Lines. Now this would be a great way for me to use up some of my mini skeins. They had a couple of different versions of this. They had one with a dark grey, one with this bluish colour as well. And I really liked the blue one. So I'm really tempted to get a blue one. Some blue yarn. I'm going to go with Drops, I think, maybe, or West Yorkshire Spinners for the main colour, because sweater quantities of hand-dyed 4-ply yarn is a little bit out of my remit. So I mean, we've got 3 100-gram balls of 4-ply, so that would, you're looking at £45 before you even count in the cost of the mini skeins. So minimum £45 depending on where you're buying your yarn from. So I can half that by buying West Yorkshire Spinners. I love working with their yarn. They do some lovely colours, they do some lovely solids, so I will be making that, but I will be trying to get down my WIP list first. Simon saw a sample for this sweater and decided that he wanted me to make one of these for Catherine. He thinks that it would suit her very, very much. I agree, in these colours actually. So this is the older sign stall. So they had books which are available as ebooks as well. And there was some stunning, stunning patterns there. Absolutely stunning. I can't wait to start this and also sort of discover more of their patterns, because they're absolutely beautiful patterns. Okay, that can go with the other thing that I bought. Right, so I wanted mini skeins, so I bought some. I got, let's move that over there because I keep making the bag crinkle. So Cuddle Buns, a dyer that I've used yarn from before, and I have used their mini skeins before as well. My very first yarn show, Nottingham, I think it was Nottingham Yarn Expo, I think it was called, in November 2019. I bought a I think it was their chocolate box minis as an advent, and it was just 12, I think they were 5-gram minis for I think the whole little box cost about £10. It was very affordable, and I just love their colours. They're so bright and vibrant, and when I saw they were there, I was like, I'm getting some minis for my Cozy Memories blanket. So I did. It was 6 10-gram minis for £10, and these are the colours I got. So I've got this amazing purple. I got this lovely one. I tried to sort of mix the colours a little bit. Again, these will go completely random in my blanket, and I'll probably get 2 or 3 squares out of each one for my blanket. So I've got those. They do have some fantastic full skein yarns as well, but like I said, I wasn't looking for full skeins as such. There were a couple of places where I did buy full skeins, but that was because I fell in love with the yarn and couldn't talk myself out of it. So I couldn't go to a yarn show where Attic Spin Dye was exhibiting. Hello Angela and Andy. And not buy from them, because again, colours that I love, beautiful, beautiful colours. And honestly, if I had not gone in with a plan, I could have walked out with a good 3 or 4 skeins minimum of their colours. But I have so much of their yarn and I need to use more of it first. But I did get some minis. These were, oh crikey, how much? I think they were £2 each. They're 10-gram minis and they are beautiful colours. Catherine and Emily chose the colours, so I take absolutely no credit for the combinations that they've picked. They are lovely colours. And again, they'll be going in my Cozy Moments blanket. And once that's done, I will maybe start another mini scheme project. So if you do have any go-to mini scheme projects, knit or crochet, please comment below, because I would love to have more ideas of things to do, because I love minis. They are beautiful. I had to stop subscribing to the Dinah's Home and Craft ones because affordability, really. I was already spending a certain amount of money a month on yarn, and something had to go, and I really love my Bird of the Month and my Alice in Wonderland subscriptions, so it had to be the mini schemes. So what else did I buy? Well, for Matic Spin Die, I got this beautiful, this is the Peach Sorbet Sprinkles. I love this colour. And this has been bought for a particular project, and I will show you that later when I get to my other incoming. I haven't got lots of other incoming, just a couple of my subscription schemes and a couple of magazines. So, but I got that, and I got this beautiful stitch marker, Progress Mark Keeper. I've got a couple of these fairies now, and they're really beautiful. I think Catherine might start eyeing them up now she's got back into knitting. I've also got, I'm missing something. I'm missing some yarn. I'll have to go digging for it in a minute. I also got these stitch markers. These are knitting stitch markers, so they're just, oh gosh, they're a little tangled. So we've got, these are fairy tale ones, and they're really cute and pink, and so we've got a castle, we've got Cinderella, her castle, a tiara, not sure what that is. Is it a cloud or some sort of insignia? Either way, it's cute. And then the cutest of them all, oh, that little carriage, that's so cute. But yes, I love those stitch markers. I'd seen them I think I'd seen them at a previous show, and I decided I'd wanted them. Okay, so another bit of yarn that I bought was Lamamoya wool, which is a Simply Shetland 4-ply. So this is 100 grams, and it is a 100% yarn. 100% yarn, of course it's 100% yarn. It's a 100% wool yarn, and it is made from Shetland fleece from the lady's stock. Her own flock of sheep. She has this flock of sheep, and I don't know what Emily did with it, but she gave us a postcard of the sheep that this wool came from. Which is amazing, and it even tells you that it was clipped. So this was off the sheep that was shorn. Words are failing me again, in 2017. Look. It's amazing, isn't it? But yeah, the lady was really, really friendly. She was happy to talk to us about her sheep. She showed the girls a video of one of the sheep being shorn, and it was just really, really good. Have I got time to go anymore? Very sorry if I'm whizzing through this, but I'm really conscious that I'm about half an hour in and I haven't spoken about my projects yet. Oh, I have. I've spoken about my unicorn. Emily's unicorn. Something else that it's something that I've been considering doing, but it's something that the girls saw and they wanted to try. So I took a deep breath and I decided to treat them to a needle felting set. There was this lovely exhibitor there, and let's find her. She was so lovely with the girls, and she was more than happy to sit there and chat to them. She gave them a little needle felted bee, which was the cutest. Where is it? Frankie and Sydney. Let's see if I can find a proper advert for them. Okay, so they don't have a proper advert in the programme, but it was Frankie and Sydney. They were really fun. And the lady at the stall said that the bees would be a good place to start. So they've picked the multicoloured bee set, which thankfully was on offer. We've got all of the things we're going to need to make it. So we've got fluff of all different colours. So if I fail with the spinning, I can have a go at needle felting with those colours that I've got. And some devilishly scary needles. Emily was the first one to say she wanted to go because Catherine wanted to get on and cast on her donut. So we've got little square of net for the wings and a foam square which already has lots of fluff and hair on it from the fluff in the box. So I might sit with the girls and have a try at that this weekend, depending on how much time I get, because Catherine hasn't been very well, bless her. She tested positive for COVID yesterday. She's fine. She's just got a cold, really. But she's very unhappy to be missing Girl Guide Camp. So, never mind. So, what else did I buy? What else did I get in this beautiful... Here's the sheep. Was that the sheep? Yes, I think that was the sheep. Or at least it's one of her sheep that gave the wool. So, yeah, so, and it's got that gorgeous sheepy smell. Oh, I love that smell. Honestly, I don't think I could go up to an actual sheep and shove my face into its fleece. But once it's been spun, and it still retains that really sort of sheepy smell. Yeah, I love the colour. I'm not normally one for sort of browns, but I really was drawn to this colour. It is quite rustic. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to make with it. I was thinking a hat, a winter hat, maybe for Simon. Okay, so, oh yes, I got this. Now I will mention, so I didn't buy anything from here, but I will mention them because one of the ladies who wasn't at the store when I first visited, and she came running up to me as I was about to start my second route around. And she said, "Oh, you're the vlogging lady, you're the vlogging lady." And asked me about my channel. So if you're here, hello. This is Woolly Originals. And they make these really amazing bags. Now, my budget couldn't stretch to one this visit, but I definitely would like to save up for one because they are beautiful bags. And they are made, they look like they were made in a knitted fabric or a felted fabric. Absolutely beautiful. And they've got a huge range of bag designs. So yeah, that's going to be one of my future bag purchases. I just thought I'd share them because they really stood out. Okay, so this is my bargain. This is 400 grams of 4-ply yarn. So they came in, I'm hesitant to unwrap it. So it came in these, so I've bought 2 of these massive hanks, and they were 2 for £15. So there is, I could use this for my, could use this for my Lissington lines. It is a little bit, because it's 100% wool, it's a little bit scratchy. It doesn't have that softness of once it's got white nylon in it. I don't know, because I had got my eye on making a cardigan with this. Oh, decisions. But yes, £15. She had lots and lots of colours to choose from. And I love this. It's got, I don't know if you can really see it. There's little flecks, hints of pink going through that purple. And it's very multi-tonal without being sort of losing its solid colour. Absolutely love that. And my last purchase was, bag going down on the floor, from Wee Woolly Wonderful. Now I've got this lovely bag and I bought a pattern. So I'll go with the pattern first. So it's an amigurumi store. They had the most cutest little amigurumis, and they also had mystery bags, and I treated myself to a mystery bag. And I bought the cat pattern because I fell in love with the cats. I really love the cats. And they were just so, that the ladies were so lovely and friendly. I haven't properly looked at the pattern yet, but I'm sure I'll be fine. Like I said, it's the sewing up where I go wrong. So the mystery bag, I promise this is my last Wool Monty haul section of the section. Words again. So for £30, I am promised over £50 worth of woolly goodness. I see this in a lot of yarn shows that I go to, and I do try to buy one of these sorts of things as I go around for each show that I've been to, because they are very good value for money. And this one promised a kit, and it promised some patterns. So let's start with the kit first, because the kit is so cute. So I essentially have two project bags, because the kit comes in a bag of its own. And again, this one's Wee Woolly Wonderfuls. And this kit is Julie the Zebra and Baby Luxury Crochet Kit. So in the kit you have a lovely list of what's in there. I had a dig, there's lots of lovely things in here. Okay, so we have a Starcraft Chunky, a full ball in the colour silver. We have a full ball of Chunky in the colour white. Now I haven't done amigurumi in Chunky before. This would be why the hook is the size it is, thinking about it. I was a bit surprised when I didn't really pay any attention to the weight of the yarn. So we've got some red. I'm going to assume that is also Starcraft Chunky. And a dark grey. We have this polyfill, which is a very different polyfill to the one I'm used to using. It's sort of got, it's more lumpy, bumpier, and I don't know if that means this is one of the more environmentally friendly ones. I just buy the giant bags from Amazon for about £5. I also obviously get the pattern, so there were two patterns in here because we've got Baby Zebra and Mummy Zebra, and Mummy Zebra has a little backpack, which is what the red yarn is for. This is just the most adorable. I can't wait to start making these. They are so cute. I also got a 4mm hook, like I don't have enough of these already. I found lately I've been reaching for my clovers nearly every time. I have them on my shelf next to where I sit on the sofa when I'm working, and that's what I'm working on. But I've got a hook, I've got a zebra button, I've got a zebra stitch marker, a little plastic stitch marker, which are great. Those ones are great for marking your beginning of round. I've got a darning needle. Ooh, can never have too many of those. And some black yarn for adding the details. Now that on its own, I think retails on their stand for about £25. So I felt very, very lucky. I love this so much. Oh, that's the... I think that's everything. But that's not all there was in here. No, no, no. I had some patterns. And one of the patterns, well actually no, a couple of the patterns were ones that I had seen on the stall and was going to buy separately anyway, but decided on the cats instead. So that was lucky. I was just going to look out for them the next time I saw them. So we've got Eli and Ella the elephants. They're so cute. They are adorable. I've got Chili the snowman. Now he is one that I was looking at possibly buying. He is the most adorable. I need to make him. Got Alfred the lion. And I've got the baby lion to go with it. And then these ones, I was going to buy these ones too. Christmas mice. I'm going to make these for Christmas. These are definitely being made along with Chili. These are going to be Christmas decorations this year. I'm not sure if they're going to sit on the tree or if I'm going to have a little setup near the TV. I'm not sure. And look, a little baby panda. They're so cute. They're so pretty. They're so pretty. I'm feeling a little bit silly. But I honestly could not be happier with my little haul. I've discovered makers and designers that I wasn't aware of before. I've got a bargain, a couple of bargains if you include that the mystery bag. Absolutely, so much fun. I would definitely recommend, wherever you are in the world, if there is such a thing as a yarn show near where you live, go. You don't have to buy lots of stuff like I do. I spend basically I put money aside every month into a special account. It's my knitting account. I call it well, it's more of a crafting account. And around the time of a yarn show, I will transfer money out of that account, and that is my budget for the show. If I go a little bit over, then that comes out of my wages. It's not a big cost for me because I've already saved up for that purpose. But so you don't have to. I see other vloggers, they go and they'll buy one or two things, but just the experience of meeting the makers. It's great going on Etsy or on a maker's website and buying their yarn. This lady has a website, but I don't know if I hadn't had that lovely conversation with her about her yarn, about the fact that the yarn is from her sheep. I don't know how likely I would be to go and seek out her yarn. Now I've met her, I've seen her pictures of her sheep, I've seen a sheep be sheared on her phone, I can see how much she loves her sheep. So now I'm more likely to seek her out next time I want to buy some yarn like this. And it's the same for all makers, all of the designers. It was fantastic to experience that. and just give them a little bit of my love and a little bit of my money. So that is my Wool Monty. I will end the Wool Monty bit there and I shall move on to my whips. So, blanket along update. I have been working on mine. It will see some more love this weekend actually. I'm quite surprised at how much it's been spun through on my decision wheel. So let's go to the hashtag. We shall see how many beautiful blankets we've got on the go at the moment. So we've got a few. So this one is Yarn's the Word. This is the most recent share. She's doing the Spice of Life blanket, which looks amazing. Absolutely amazing. So, and it looks good for scraps. I think I remember her saying that she was using scraps. So we've got Mrs. Attic, and she's made some crocheted blankets for twin baby boys. Ooh. And they're beautiful colours. Absolutely love those colours. Tina is making the Enigma blanket and you're doing a fantastic job, Tina. Absolutely love your work so far. And it's a really fun blanket to make, isn't it? It really is. And oh look, there's my update. There's one of my updates. And another Tina, she is making the the Persian tiles blanket, which is something I really like the look of, but because they're all the same, I don't know if I have the patience to do them all. But yes, so we've got a few blankets going already. So don't forget, if you want to take part in my blanket along, don't share your pictures. If you're not on Instagram, you can email me the photos. All of my contact details are below. I'm more than happy to add you to my list. So every picture gets you an entry. And you will win the Starcraft Special DK yarn pack for the Faith crochet along that was done by Starcraft, designed by Helen Shrimpton last year. So yeah, and the hashtag is Crochet Moments Bell. I don't know if you can see that. Crochet Moments Bell 2022. I'll flash it around the screen as I usually do. So let's see my blanket along blanket. Let's see how far I've got on it. I'm very close to finishing part 1 of the pattern. No, it's still attached. Oh, I've got a stitch mark. I was going to say it's still attached to the ball of yarn. So I am just starting the section with the reindeer. So this is the Winter Wonderland blanket, and I can never remember the name of the designer because I'm rubbish at names. So as you can see, sort of this way that you can just start to see some of the legs. So the reindeer is sort of prancing. So I am crocheting this in a colourway that I found on a blog. Somebody who tested this pattern, and I am using the Paintbox Yarns Simply DK, which is an 100% acrylic yarn. Absolutely love the colourway. I wasn't so sure about this lighter grey that I'd picked until it was done up. I really do love the contrasts. It's beautiful. Don't worry about all these ends. I had a few comments about these ends last time. So basically, this being a mosaic blanket, it is worked right side always in rows, and these you will just knot together, do a really tight double knot, trim them down, and then you will be doing a a sealed in border, an envelope border I think it's called. So I'll be doing some stitches along the front, some stitches along the back, and then they'll be joined at the top. So all of these ends will be much shorter and they will be enclosed into a border. So don't panic, because we know Helen hates ends. Helen doesn't sew ends in very well. But I'm having an absolute whale of a time working on this. And once I finished the last square of my piece of cake cowl, which I'll show you next, I will be... Oh, I'm chewing my yarn up in the zip of my bag. That's not good. This is living in my really big bucket bag that I got from Aldi. Was it last year or the year before? I can't remember now, but I absolutely love it. So when I'm doing something that doesn't fill it completely with yarn, I fold the bag down a little as I'm working so the balls can sit in the top. That's that. So as mentioned, I have started working on part 2 of the piece of cake cowl. There's a really good picture of the blanket there. Oop. So this is the current Crochet Now cowl. It's only in part 2, so you can get parts digitally if you wanted to have a go from another country and you didn't want to pay because I know print price for these overseas is quite expensive. But yes, so if you wanted to, you can get these patterns digitally. And it's essentially a sampler blanket, and it's great for practicing new stitches if you are learning new stitches. So these are the stitches from the last part, so part 1. So we had it's designed to have one for a beginner and one for someone who's building their skills. So if you wanted to, you could do all 4 in the beginner square, or you could have a go at the intermediate. So here's the V-stitch. I will get around to sewing the ends in. I'm deciding whether or not to block, to be honest. I'm not sure. And here is, oh gosh, I can't remember this one. I can't remember the name of this stitch, but it was really pretty to work with. And I'm just using yarn from my stash. So this time, oh, I'm missing one. I'm missing a square. I finished a square this morning and it's gone missing. That's bizarre. No, actually that's the square I did first thing. It'll be somewhere. Emily will have knocked it down somewhere. So this time round we have linen stitch for the beginner square, and I love linen stitch. It's a beautiful stitch. You get a lovely fabric to it, and it's very simple. You don't have to think about what you're doing when you're doing this one. And the other stitch is the griddle stitch, and I've just got one more griddle stitch left to do in the dark purple. So you're doing 1 square in each colour of the 4 colours in the whole design. That's going to, oh, there it is. It was there all the time. It was there all the time. So one thing I have noticed is that there's a little variation on the squares in the sizes. So my first V-stitch, now I have been measuring them. My first V-stitch one is quite loose and open and a little on the large size, but that's fine. I think it may have got stretched at some point, because here is my other V-stitch one, which is not quite so tight, so loose, and it's a tiny bit smaller. So I'm hoping that if I do decide to block, that it will block out. But this is the colours that I have going for it. I'm not 100% sure about this colour being particularly in there, but I wanted something that was of a similar family to the colours. It's, you know, it's a little bit pinky, and I just wanted to be enough of a contrast without being a huge contrast, if that makes any sense at all. So I will be working on that square tonight, hopefully get it done before I go to bed. They are great. They take about an hour and a half, 2 hours for a square, which is fantastic for me. Okay, crochet. Let's go talk a bit more crochet. This is my last crochet project to talk about. And I was really hoping, really hoping that I would get this finished for the show. I really wanted to wear this. This is the Metamorphosis Wrap, and it is a sheepy's design from the yarn bookazine Macro Botanica. Now, I subscribed to these because they're amazing books. They have crochet patterns, they have knit patterns. They are designed obviously to market the sheepy's yarn, but they have great articles and they always have a theme. The last one was, what was the last one? Lots of sea themes, and there were always, as you can see, lots of patterns that I like. So I see it worthwhile. This is the wrap that I'm making, and I blocked something, and I blocked it properly as well. So that's the wing. I finally got the centre square finished, and I'm not sure if I did a great job at blocking this, but once the edging is on and the wings are on, it probably won't be a big issue. And I hope you can see how beautiful this square is. And this is going to be worn diagonally. Absolutely beautiful, and it's sort of going to sit there. Now I am making the large because I do feel I am a larger lady. Sometimes I find mediums are a little bit on the small side, but so I'm going to have ounces of room in this. This is, I don't know if maybe I've overblocked it now. I hope I've not wrecked it. But just the difference blocking made. I know that blocking makes a difference. But I am very, very lazy. If I can get away with not blocking something, I won't block it. But this needed it. When I finished it, it was in a very scrumpled, it was probably 2/3 of the size that it is now. But I blocked it. It's all done. But that isn't the end of the wrap. I now have to make wings and the edges, and then the neckline, and then the border. So I am about halfway on the first wing. Now this is lots and lots of V-stitches, so it is very simple crochet. I love this yarn. I love how this yarn is working up in this project. I'm never crocheting with lace weight yarn again though. That's for certain. This is the yarn. Absolutely gorgeous. It is Hey J hand dyed yarns. So she is still dyeing. I haven't yet been lucky enough to see her at another yarn show. This is the colourway Blackcurrant, which I don't believe she has on her site anymore. But it is a lace weight yarn. It's a 50% merino and a 50% silk blend, and it's so luxurious. And my whole project is being kept in my anmd project bag. And I can't wait to stick a different project in here. I feel like I've been working on this wrap for a little while now. I did try. I crocheted until my fingers hurt, but that wing just wouldn't grow very fast, and I think it's because it's lace weight yarn. I'm not giving up completely on lace weight yarn. I will try knitting something in it, but that would be something very small because it would just take forever. Okay, I'm on to my knit whips now. So I've got a couple of knit whips. Obviously, out for the day, I took my out and about bag, which is Bellica Yarns, the maker. I got this from Wool at Junction 13, which was a beautiful show at a children's farm, so the children loved it there too. These are my first ever toe up socks, and I am going great guns on these. So after the Wool Monty, we popped into IKEA because Simon realised we needed, what was it we needed? Something. We needed something. We came away with a couple of things we didn't go in for because that's IKEA. But yeah, we came away with what he went in for too. But here are my socks. I am so impressed with how well it's going so far. The pattern that I am following, I can never remember what it's called. I think it's called Easy Does It. No, it's not called Easy Does It. Trusty Toe Up Socks by Tanis Fibre Art, and I've just come off it. So this has gives you the options for either doing the short row heels or a afterthought heel. I am not brave enough to try the afterthought heel yet. I will try it one day. I will try. I know Crazy Sock Lady has a very good tutorial. She's the lady whose tutorials taught me how to knit socks in the first place. So I will head over to her channel when I'm ready, and I will knit a tube, and then I will try and put a heel in there. With some scrap yarn, I'll just knit a tube and then try throwing in a heel in that, and we shall see how it goes. But I love this yarn. This is West Yorkshire Spinners in Rum Paradise. It's a signature 4-ply, and the girls absolutely love the rainbow colours. I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to try and end at the end of a colour, and at that point I will be changing colour. I'm going to do a contrast heel, and that colour will be determined by whatever colour I have to stop out for Catherine's foot. So that's that project. And I've been knitting on 2 others, other knitted projects other than Unicorn. I started my chunky cardigan pattern that I bought while visiting a yarn shop in Bakewell. This has been my 30 minutes of knitting this past week. Was it week and a bit? I can't remember. So that I'm making this jacket. So there are 2 patterns in here. So this lovely top, which I do like, but I think in chunky wool I'm probably going to be more comfortable in a cardigan style thing. Lots of rib, but being chunky, being done in chunky, I'm not needing as many rows to get that many inches of rib. And I'm not far off finishing the back. Oh, what's going on there? Right, let's get it the right side up. Ooh. Here it is. So I've got, I think I've got about 16 rows left to do on the back before I start reducing for the shoulders. So I'm really looking forward to that. And this is being made from oh gosh, the Starcraft Life Chunky, and this is the Duck Egg Nep colourway. And it's a 72% acrylic, 25% wool and 3% viscose. Now I've used the Starcraft Life DK before, so I know that I like this yarn. This is an alternative because the King Cole Italian collection yarn is no longer available. So that's the main reason that I went for this yarn. Okay, so my last work in progress is I did a little bit of work on my knit along socks. These are my socks. Now this pattern is starting to get very, very scruffy. I've ripped it. These are the Cashmeri Socks from the 4 Seasons Knit Along from the Knit Now magazine. I am so close. I've turned the heel. I've got about an inch of the foot done. So I just need to keep going with the foot and get the toe done. And then I can move on to the next one, next project along. I feel like I've been doing those socks for quite a long time, and they're very, very easy socks to make. Here's the first sock. So the first sock's all done. I just have to sew the ends in. That's that. Now for my teeny tiny bit of incoming, and then I promise I will stop talking because Simon will be wondering what's keeping me so long, because, well, I did tell him I'd be a little while. My Attic Spin Die subscriptions, they came just before Wool Monty. Had I realised that they were going to come out that close, I could have said to Andy, save the money and just pop them in a bag and give them to me on Sunday. But I didn't realise, and it was a lovely surprise to get home and find them on the table. This is the bird of the month. This is the Goldfinch yarn. Absolutely beautiful, as always. I absolutely love this colour. Not sure what I'm going to, as with all these colours, they're so beautiful. Sometimes I just want to take them out of their box, give them a stroke and look at them. And that's about all I want to do. But it's almost like sacrilege to unwind these beautiful skeins of yarn. And then I have my Alice in Wonderland. So the lavender pouch. Oh no, it hasn't been stolen by Catherine. She loves these. Absolutely, she goes mad for these the minute they arrive. I love lavender too, but she will quite sit there breathing one in. This is the lavender pouch. Some little Alice in Wonderland characters on there. And I very nearly lost the stitch marker. It's the Cheshire Cat. Yes, both girls wanted this, and I had to explain to Emily that it's a stitch marker, and she wouldn't find much use for it really. Maybe as a bag charm for her book bag. This yarn. Look at this yarn. So this is the Cheshire Cat colourway from the Alice in Wonderland mystery skein. Now this is going to team up with this. Look at that. 4. Now I did when I showed a picture, Catherine said you have to make me something for this. So I did jokingly ask for some suggestions on what to make with this yarn, and Angela said a cat hat. So I went on Ravelry and I found a cat hat. It's so cute. So what I'm going to do, so Catherine is going to have one where this is the main colour and this is the contrast, and then I'm going to attempt, because this is a one size only pattern, I'm going to attempt to size it down for Emily's head and reverse the colours so that Daddy doesn't get confused. Reverse the colours for Emily. So she's going to have this one as the main colour and the darker colour for the cats. It's so stunning. I can't wait. I want to start it straight away, but I need to get some projects finished. When I realised that I have about 8 or 9 knit whips on my wheel and was like, I'm never going to get anything finished if I keep starting new things. So the plan is to get as many knit whips done as I can. Clear it down to 4. 4 is a manageable amount. That is how many active spin projects that I have for my crochet on my wheel. I have a couple of projects that are monthly crochet alongs. So I just get a pattern through once a month. It takes a couple of evenings, maximum a month, to finish them, so then I can devote the rest of my crochet time for the rest of the month on my other projects. Whereas knitting, there's so many things that, and I want to work on all of them. I do. I really, really want to see them finished, because every single one of these patterns are things that I've obviously I've picked them out because I love them. I really, really want to make them. So I have started that 20-30 minutes in the morning that Simon is in the shower, just before I get out of bed and have my shower. That is when I will stick YouTube on, I will watch a podcast, and I'll knit on a project. So once this is finished, something else will go into that 30 minutes of knitting. And then once I'm caught up and I only have 4 whips of each, I think hell probably would have frozen over. That's never going to happen, is it? Come on, let's be honest. We know me. So my last bit of incoming, I've had my Knit Now and Crochet Now magazines. So Knit Now came with a Starcraft Baby Knits booklet. Now I was going to do this as a giveaway, but Catherine has decided that she's knitting again, and she wants to have a go at selling what she makes. Now I have told her that the best thing to do is to choose small things to make, and I have hundreds, literally hundreds, of baby knitting patterns from various decades. So she wants to have a go at making some baby clothes. Although she has been through my knitting patterns today while she's been isolating, and she said she's picked some things out she wants to make. I promised her that she can shop my stash, or I will buy the yarn for her on an online order, so that when she finishes her donut, she will have time. We're going to have a knitting day tomorrow. Well, I'm going to crochet, and she's going to knit. So this is the Knit Now. Catherine has already picked several projects in here that she wants me to make for her, even though I've explained to her she can make them. I'm not going to take up too much time now going through that. If you go to their website, there is a picture list of the patterns, and obviously I've had the Crochet Now magazine came through this week, and there's some lovely things in that. I want to make that. That's on my wish list. I love that. And I would love wearing that as well. So I've done my yarn, my Wool Monty haul. I've done my projects. I've done my finished object. I love this unicorn so much. And I think that's everything now. I'm going to tidy up now. And then I'm going to get on with some crochet. So well done to all of you who've lasted this long. And I shall see you again soon. I will be filming again in a couple of weeks. Nothing too exciting planned for the next couple of weeks, so probably no hauls. I shall see you again soon. Goodbye.